All right, everybody. I think we are going to go ahead and get started. Good afternoon, I guess good morning, good evening, wherever you are today. Many of you, I actually recognize your names, and you probably have met me at some point or at least seen my name along the way in emails. I was the director of marketing for AgilQuest, Ashley Lofton-Hyman. Now I'm director of marketing for Tango. So thank you for taking time with me today and with all of us. We're really excited to share a little bit about what this all means. What does this acquisition mean for us? What does this acquisition mean for Tango? What does this acquisition mean for you all, especially on the phone? And what does it mean for the workplace? And I first really want to say, as a 12-year employee of AgilQuest, that it's been really exciting, the whole transition. So we are very excited about it and hope that you all are as well. So quick administrative note on your panel, you should see a questions box. So just put your questions in there. We will get to them at the end. All righty. So to start, my pleasure to introduce the new branding of AgilQuest. Along with the acquisition, we became a product of Tango, which is very exciting. So with that, we took on the Tango branding, and excited to show you what that looks like now. We will be releasing all of this on our product documentation, our website, the product platforms over the next week or so. So you will be seeing these changes. Just be patient with us as we all try to work through the terminology changes and getting everything done in as smooth a process as we can. But as a product of Tango, we are also taking on a new name. So we will be Tango Reserve by AgilQuest. It doesn't mean that your functionality is changing. It's still the great platform that you've known, but it will have a new name. You should see what you kind of see here, this AgilQuest logo. You'll see that most of all, but you might hear us refer to it as Reserve. You might hear us refer to it as AgilQuest. And again, be patient as we get used to not saying Forum. So we hope that everybody can cling on to this new terminology and the new branding and get excited with us. And really with that, I know that you all want to know what this means for you and what it means for the company. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to our fearless leaders, John Vivadelli and Don Davidson.
John, you're on mute.
John, you're on mute.
It's you. There you go. Thank you very much, Ashley, for unmuting me. And thank all of you for attending. This is very exciting for us. And so what we're going to do is take some time to talk to you about the acquisition of AgilQuest by Tango and some details about that and why this combined entity is really what we call the right fit at the right time. So I happen to be a fan of Simon Sinek, and it always starts with why, as Simon says. So 28 years ago, AgilQuest was created to give people more choice about where and when to go to work. And we had a tagline at that point that was wherever, whenever you needed to go to work, both inside of corporate office space and outside. And that was because way back when in 1994, the average occupancy of commercial office space was about 50%. Now it's a lot lower. So fast forward 28 years, and now we call it the hybrid workplace. And I think as many of you know that are in the workplace business or have really worked with your facilities, that this is just an evolution of a name, but the processes have been with us for quite some time. And really what we wanted to do is break down the barriers between the walls between places where people work so that it could be a much more fluid experience for people. So so this connection of people plus place is in our DNA. And we knew that we couldn't build all the functionality ourselves. So the first right around in the late 90s, early 2000s, and then even on beyond that, we really realized that we needed to be able to integrate our platforms with other things. We had a term for that called living in the web, and trying to expand all of the different kinds of applications that you have in your businesses in order to be able to improve the user experience. The last couple of years, certainly since COVID, we realized that in order to achieve our vision, both inside and outside, giving people the fluidity between those locations to go to work, that in order for us to do that, we really need capital investment. And that capital investment was either just as growth capital or as a strategic acquisition. So Ashley, second slide, please. So we have this interconnection, an intersection and connection of people in place. On the left-hand side, we take people productivity. So the application you guys know and love, AgilQuest, is all about enhancing people productivity with and adding to that the place productivity. And this is really where Tango comes into play to expand that place productivity side. And if you do both of these well, people productivity enhancement with place productivity enhancement, then it drives organizational productivity. So we took the world's best hybrid workplace platform, AgilQuest for people, and we paired it with the world's best IWMS platform, place platform, manage, measure, to transact, and to operate place. And when I say place, I don't mean just office space or co-working or landlord space, but Tango grew up in retail. So it's about customers and places that they go to shop. So it's a much broader view than just the workplace. And all of this really needs to be operated on one platform for you. And we had to do this quickly. And an acquisition was frankly the best way about going to do that. Next slide, Ashley. So let's talk about the WIFM. What's in it for me, right? What's in it for you, the customer? We needed to expand our development capabilities so that we could deliver more software faster. We needed to expand our customer success and support organization because in the last 2 years, we've added over 100 new customers. And the growth has just been phenomenal. In the first quarter alone, we added another 17. So in order to do these things well, we really needed to have investment in order to be able to grow our business. So what's in it for me? Let's talk a little bit about the AgilQuest people. Our view at AgilQuest and certainly at Tango has always been, if you take care of your employees, they will take care of your customers. And we strongly believe that. And so what we needed to do was to make sure that this acquisition did that. With those 100 new customers, our people were frankly getting to the breaking point. They were working night and day, weekends, and we really needed to be able to give them some relief by adding more resources. Our employees wanted to grow and their opportunities. They wanted to grow to become managers. They wanted to grow maybe across the organization. And really, it took a larger organization to allow us to do that. And frankly, we needed to be able to keep all these fantastic employees. So a large organization with the resources of a large organization help us to do that. So, these are the people that you've grown to know and love, that they're helping you implement, they're helping you to use the platform, and they support you in that. I just wanted you to know that they were taken care of too. So take a look at the combined entity, just the numbers on the bottom. 30 plus customer success and support people now. 50 plus development, and that's just in the United States. There's other resources overseas. 80 plus professional services people. So for a total of 250 people, a dramatic improvement in the resources that are available for you. And now I'd like to just introduce Don Davidson. Don's going to talk about the integration of the two companies from a customer standpoint.
Yeah, thank you, John. And it is great to see a lot of familiar names. And we appreciate your time today to listen to our message. The one thing you'll see, and one very common thread, is with our customer base. Both organizations have grown up serving very large, very integrated, somewhat complex organizations globally. So whether you're a national company or a global company, many locations. So, you know, a lot of these names are familiar to you, some are you. And, but the very interesting thing, you know, is that the tremendous complement that each organization brings to the other. And that is, many of our customers have asked us for enhanced capability, but much of it aligns into what the traditional integrated workplace management solutions would bring. And you know, we struggled sometimes to kind of find that balance of providing an expanded level of function and capability to the time and effort it takes to do that. On the other hand, reservations, which in a much broader sense is really our core competence, that was an area that Tango really needed to have an enhanced capability in. So, and many of their clients looking to bring in a workplace management reservation technology, you know, that can expand and provide the level of function that they need across their organizations. And, you know, what we're really excited about is what these platforms bring together. It meets many of the requests and asks that many of you have asked me or asked us for. And, you know, we've been either unable to do that, or we've had to make significant investment to be able to bring some of that to you. And this is, we believe, without question, the very best way of expanding the capabilities that our company and our combined company has now, and can introduce that to you and your organizations. So with that, I'll turn it back over to John.
Thank you. Thanks. So really what it comes down to is, from the acquisition standpoint, there's really two kinds of acquisitions. There's an acquisition to drive growth, and there's an acquisition to drive profit. And our acquisition is definitely one to drive growth. So the profit enhancement kind of acquisition means rolling up maybe 3 or 4 or 5, and in some cases 8 different kinds of reservation systems and other kinds of similar platforms, IWMS platforms, and then cutting out duplicate sales, cutting out accounting, cutting out support, cutting out marketing, cutting out development, and then consolidating customers onto one platform that maybe you're not on. This is not what we did. This strategic acquisition takes 2 best-of-breed platforms that are complementary to each other. And as Don kind of, when we went through those customer slides, there was only one customer that was similar between the 2 entities. So we really have the benefit of being able to work to add value on both sides, both on the Tango customer and on the AgilQuest customer side. And from the very beginning of the conversations with Tango and the investment partner that funded, the comment that I made was, look, we have to make sure that AgilQuest employees get a position at Tango. And that's exactly what happened. Everybody at AgilQuest now works at Tango. So again, the people that you've grown to know and rely on and support you are now at Tango. Another beautiful thing about the combination is that we have very similar DNA. You'll just meet Pranav here in a minute. He's founded the company back in 2008. I founded the company a little bit earlier than that. We both have longevity in the employee base. The people that you know, Don Davidson, Brian Collier, Torrance Houlihan, and others. I mean, they've been with the company. One of our developers was in the company more than 20 years. And Tango's average, again, a much larger company, but Tango has an average, I think, of 8 years longevity. So these are companies that people come into, they get to know, and they get to love where they work. And by the way, both are multi-tenant SaaS platforms, so you can rely on that as well. And we enjoy the significant capital backing that our investors have provided to us so that we can grow and support you. So let's talk. I just wanted to click, Ashley, next slide, please. So just introduce Pranav Tyagi and Bart Waldeck. Great guys. They've really done a great job in taking care of AgilQuest as we've made this transition. I mean, it's a big change, and it's hard to change the way you've been doing business for 28 years and moving into a new entity. And I'll tell you that they've made it as easy as it possibly can be. So Pranav, why don't you take it away and introduce yourselves, and then talk about the Tango side, which is frankly what everybody's here to learn. Thank you.
Thank you, John, and welcome everybody on this call into the larger Tango family. Really appreciate you guys taking the time today and understand a little bit more about the exciting stuff that's going on in the organization. A little bit of background: my name is Pranav Tyagi, I'm the CEO of Tango. Spent the last 25 years now in real estate technology. First 10 years in consulting. Started Tango just over 14 years ago. And as John said, we've got a really great organization and a great customer base that the AgilQuest family has joined. And collectively, we feel at the intersection of people in place is something that we feel we can provide some exceptional solutions to our customers for. Bart, you want to do a quick introduction? We'll talk about Tango after that.
Sure. Hi, everybody. My name is Bart Waldeck. I run the strategy and customer side of things here globally at Tango. Similar background to Pranav as far as tenure in the industry. I've spent a little over 25 years in real estate and facilities technology and services. So from a consulting perspective, and I also spent time in real estate services at CB Richard Ellis, and then down the software path in the early 2000s, and been with Tango here for 11 years. So super excited to talk with everybody about kind of what we're really excited about, which is the combination of the companies and kind of where we see this going and where we believe it'll provide additional value for you as customers.
Go to the next slide. We want to take a minute and talk a little bit about the business, about Tango. As I said, we started the company in 2008. We offer a broad range of capabilities to our customers across the full life cycle of real estate and facilities. We've got customers in a broad range of industries, everything from telecommunications to healthcare to retail, restaurants to technology, media, and entertainment, insurance, and others, right? So wide variety of customers that we serve globally. I think John mentioned, we have a software as a service product that we provide to our customers, and we have been extremely proud of the fact that as over time we have grown our business organically to the scale and size it's at today. A little bit more background from a business perspective. I think if you think about who we are as a company, in the history of the business, when we founded the company, was designed to service retail organizations around their real estate processes. Over time, we evolved from that into generally supporting real estate processes across industry, not just in retail. And as our product life cycle sort of expanded, and we'll spend a little bit of time explaining all the things we do, we have built out capabilities organically. As we were looking at, if you go to the next slide here, from why we did the acquisition of AgilQuest. I know John talked about this a little bit, but historically we'd always built product organically ourselves. Anytime we needed new capability, we built it. We felt that this was a very unique opportunity for us because we found a company in AgilQuest that had a substantial sort of leadership position in the domain that they were in. The people, the leadership, as well as all the employees in the organization were very similar to who we were as a company and as people, right? So the common DNA aspect of it cannot be understated at all. The products were extremely complementary. The capabilities AgilQuest brought to the table helped complete the life cycle for us. And there wasn't necessarily a comparable product in our suite prior to this acquisition, which made it extremely easy for the two to kind of connect and fit together. And then ultimately the broad customer base, there were several verticals, certain verticals from a customer base perspective that Tango did not have a lot of presence in, that AgilQuest did, such as public sector is one of them as an example, which we felt was very synergistic for us as a business. So all in all, you can never say an acquisition candidate or target is perfect. There are rare circumstances when that happens. This was actually very, very perfect fit for us as a company. And I think the last couple of months from a transition perspective have gone really smoothly because we have similar DNA, similar core values as an organization, and the businesses and the products really fit well together. So that's sort of the rationale behind the transaction itself from a Tango perspective.
Okay, and I'll jump in here and just kind of talk a little bit about the vision that we jointly had with AgilQuest in their approach to the market. Obviously, property technology, prop tech, whatever you want to call it, workplace technology has evolved quite a bit in the last several years. There were traditional camps of integrated workplace management systems like Tango is typically categorized as, and then resource scheduling and or workplace technologies like an AgilQuest has typically been categorized. Those really have started to blur and come together, and we're at the forefront of that. And the whole intersection of people and place, is kind of how we're coining the term of what we're really focused on. If you look at the life cycle of real estate and locations, you have to plan where you want those locations, whether it's offices, stores, warehouses, manufacturing facilities. You need to build those and you need to operate those. That's the traditional top of the ring you see here that is occupied by traditionally systems like Tango, where our system is largely used by the people who manage and plan the real estate internally on behalf of the company versus those who are necessarily using it on a day-to-day basis. So the plan, build, and operate is almost like the backbone or the ERP, if you will, of real estate and facilities. And now we're complementing that with a tool in AgilQuest that is focused on optimizing the use of that from an employee perspective that really brings that productivity together. So that's kind of where we're going and why AgilQuest is such an important piece to what we're doing. If we look at this kind of how it lays out in the life cycle, if we go to the next slide, you'll see kind of how this truly complements. So if you look at the Tango suite, we can start at the top left here. This is really about real estate strategy. What is the location strategy? Where do we want locations? We have a module around transactions, which is really the real estate transaction. Whether you're leasing, whether you're buying, you need to do a deal, you need to execute a deal with a landlord or purchase if you're doing it in that case. You need a project module to build those locations, build them out, or if it's an existing location, to remodel it. You need leasing capabilities for the majority of most corporate portfolios. Those are leased properties. There is, in the case of Tango, we're putting more than 18 billion worth of lease payments through our system on behalf of our clients today. And there's also lease accounting complexities over the last several years with some of the changes in regulations. Then when the location is up and operating, there's maintenance issues, too hot, too cold, the HVAC goes down, something breaks, we need to fix it. So we have a maintenance module to do that. And then space management and space planning, you see on the right, which is the greatest connection point to AgilQuest, is really where the internal groups are doing move management, cost allocation, managing floor plans, where people are sitting from a permanent perspective. And what we really needed to add to that in this hybrid work environment going forward is the resource scheduling against that space, as more and more companies are in a hybrid environment, and upwards of 60% of seats and different spaces like conference rooms and things are going to be reservable assets that typically use. So AgilQuest is a perfect complement, no overlap with what Tango does, and it fits into our broader solution set as you see here. And this is all supported on a common foundation or platform, and we'll go into a bunch of details about that. You can see that here, but that's shared throughout. As far as kind of what we're doing to bring the products together, if you go to the next slide, we're well into the integration between the platforms themselves. You know, our goal straight away is have an API-based real-time integration which syncs data between the systems. So if you think of the portfolio from all of your locations down to each of the individual buildings, down to those floors, down to those individual spaces, and then the people that occupy all those spaces, that is what we're syncing across the two platforms. Obviously, the reservation information passing between, or the asset information as well. Tango has a very rich floor plan capability, CAD capability, and our space module. We are sharing those floor plans with the floor plans that exist within AgilQuest. All the polylining, hotspots, X, Y coordinates from Tango coming over and sharing with AgilQuest. Also a single sign-on between the two systems so that a user can independently act in both solutions and not need to sign into those. And then most importantly, from an employee perspective, is having that unified workplace mobile experience. Whether I want to put in a service request because it's too hot, whether I want to put in a request for space, I need a unified kind of experience from a mobile perspective for that. And then ultimately where we see the long-term value for our customers is our ability to combine our data sets to manage the whole life cycle, from informing strategy to utilization, occupancy, whatever it may be. We've now taken that to a new level across the full life cycle of locations, which allow our customers to manage their number 2 expense as it relates to real estate, their number 1 important productivity thing as it relates to people, and in often cases, depending on the industry segment, a huge amount of capital that is expended by companies is in real estate. So managing that all holistically. So we are in the throes of integrating this right now, and we're going to have further discussions with you about kind of specifically where we are and how you could take advantage of that connection should you wish to do so. Okay, John had mentioned before customer success. One thing we want to make sure and clear is that that you continue to receive the level of service that you're accustomed to with your interactions with AgilQuest. And then, as John mentioned, providing additional resources and funding, whether that be people, whether that be technology, to continue to invest in the relationship between customers and Tango/AgilQuest. So we're investing very heavily in customer success. It's an organization that rolls up to me and folks like Torrance Houlihan, who you probably interacted with before, working on a team to really kind of take us to a world-class customer success organization. So more technology, more investment, more interaction. Along those lines, we will have an annual joint user conference this year. We're very excited about that. I'll talk about it in detail in a minute. That'll happen this fall. Be a great opportunity to bring together the broader Tango customer and AgilQuest customer sets and cross-pollinate in best practices and talk to your peers as we go forward. And as Ashley mentioned, we have some terminology changes and branding changes. We're going to do our best to be over-communicative about all these things so you're up to speed with exactly what's going on and understand as things evolve. As it relates to that, Tango Connect, we're calling it, is our annual user conference. Again, we're connecting our customers to each other. We're connecting ourselves to our customers. We're connecting people and place. So we thought Connect was a great name for it. We're going to be having it in Dallas, Texas, at the Gaylord the end of, middle of November. So we're very excited about this. You'll be seeing some information coming out regarding agenda. This is really going to be a multi-day event where we're really trying to lead thought leadership with our customers, with our partners, have an opportunity to also attend training sessions and other things that can provide value for your resources should you be able to come. So very excited about that and look for more information about Tango Connect to come. All right.
I think that's it.
Yeah, John and Don, I don't know if you want to hop back on. See if there's any questions that maybe were submitted.
We haven't had any questions yet, but please, we still have some time. If anybody has some, don't be afraid.
Yeah, I mean, would really like to hear from our customers about this. And if you don't feel comfortable about doing that now, please reach out in the days ahead, because this is about you, and it's about creating a better capability, a broader capability, a richer capability across your people and your places, and how that all works together. So we're very excited about it. Hope you guys are too, and would love to hear from you about that. Now, there's going to be a lot more about the specific product capabilities that Tango brings to you, and I'm sure you have questions about the integrations and all of that. So that more to come, much more to come. And
yeah,
as Bart said, we'll be over communicative. So
roadmap and things like those, we look forward to having these conversations in the short term. More specifics about the integration, but then as well, more specifics about the continued investment in the AgilQuest product and taking the vision of John and team and carrying it forward and combining it with some really cool joint things that we're already dreaming of.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing I just wanted to make sure we re-emphasize. I think John said this earlier, Bart just mentioned it. The intent behind this transaction for us is to invest heavily in people, technology, product, and our customers. So you will see a lot of communication, you will see more information as we move forward. But I want to, on behalf of all of us, reassure all of our customers that the intent behind this is investment. You're going to see a lot of good things come out of this. We're going to invest in product, we're going to invest in feature functionality, invest in communication, training, all of those things. And I think, generally speaking, you will see a better level of engagement, better quality of service, better quality of product over time from us collectively. And that's a commitment we're all making to all of our customers.
I did have a question come in. Will any of our existing points of contact with AgilQuest change?
No, not at the moment. So your customer success managers, everybody you've been dealing with on a daily basis, are the same channels you can continue to go through. There's no intent to shuffle that up at all. It's been running quite well, and we're just integrating as one big customer success group. And same as it relates to professional services and other organizations. Don or John?
Yeah, I was going to say the project teams all remain the same. The support team all remains the same. So
no.
Yeah, I would just add
whatever your primary point of contact into the company is, remains unchanged.
What you might see is more, right? What you might see is more people, more
correct,
not a replacement of the people that you've. I mean, again, that was what was so critical about this is everybody at AgilQuest. I wanted to make sure that they had an opportunity when they worked, when they moved over to Tango and through that integration. And so yeah, it was absolutely critical. It's people are the most important thing. So
I do want to point out a couple of things. Obviously, our intent is to keep all of those people the same. But I think as the organization evolves and builds up, as John said, we will see more engagement from more people. And I think over time, in any organization, we may transition people into different roles, but irrespective of that, our intent is to keep it, as is today and increase the level of engagement with all of you as customers.
Yeah. One thing that I wanted that really excited me about the acquisition was Tango has a significant capability in machine learning and artificial intelligence, and they've already implemented that in some of their products. Those are things that I've always thought would be really helpful to AgilQuest, and that I'm really looking forward to some of those things over time.
We've got another actually great question. This one's from someone representing one of AgilQuest's federal customers. Does this affect FedRAMP status?
Don, why don't you take that?
Yeah, no, it does not have any impact on our current FedRAMP status. In fact, we have a group that is currently evaluating how do we move forward, with the Tango suite of products. And, you know, where do they enter the FedRAMP classification? So, you know, that work effort is already underway. And so I would say kind of watch this space over the next few months as we really kind of map out the plan for, you know, the Tango product suite to go through the FedRAMP process.
One comment on communications. We have given everybody on AgilQuest obviously a TangoAnalytics.com email address. So if you send emails to their kind of legacy AgilQuest email address, it'll still make it into their mail inbox. So there should be no hiccups in communication. But as we go forward, we're obviously trying to move more into them communicating via the Tango Analytics email address. So you may see that a little bit here and there, but don't worry, we're still getting the emails forwarded on to the new emails.
Yep.
That looks like it. It's been a very thorough presentation.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Look forward to meeting you more in person.
Thank you all.
Thanks, everyone.
We appreciate everyone. Thank you.